Good morning and welcome to the Math Science STEM Summer Research Academy. Today we have approximately about 67 to 68 students that will be presenting what they did in this summer. We've selected the kids through interest and ability, and we really didn't look at the academics should be there so that we don't take any kids out of summer school. But they did a lot of innovative activities that are related to environmental issues and how we can address those. We have junior high kids that learn about saving money, science, and how to communicate relatively well, talking to you and doing interviews. On the secondary level, what we did is we had three main projects going on: water, another one was feline sanctuary, and the third one was science and engineering. So you're gonna see robotics going on. You're gonna get an idea of what's going on with the feline sanctuary here on the island, and what are the things that we need to do to preserve our beautiful waters here in the Virgin Islands, especially St. Croix. By the way, my name is Juanita Boneke. I'm one of the administrators of the program, along with Miss Lewis, that she's around here somewhere. But I'd like you to captivate what the kids have done and let everybody know that STEM is real and STEM is the way to go, because our kids need to know how to integrate math, science, technology, even language arts into the program so that they could have a better balance in their life. And STEM is the way to go. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ashayla Coates. I attend the MSSRA summer camp, and my group project is about energy and different types of energy.
Hi, my name is Shakila Daniel. I also attend at STEM Academy for the junior high to high school. This program is very helpful of my experience, and this project is talking about the forms of energy. The most important forms of energy are potential and kinetic. I have picked these two because they're actually the most important. I also have some examples of the most important kinetic and the journal. The journal talks about what energy sources we use every day and so on. This part of the project talks about what is energy. So this part of the project is the remote car. This car is about kinetic energy. What we did first is cut in the middle of the bottle, but not too far back or not too far in front. Then after we did that, we made holes in the bottom of the car for wheels. We needed 4 bottle caps from the same type of bottle we were using. Then after that, we used a shish kebab stick and cut it a little bit. Then we apply rubber bands and make it tight enough so we can close the bottle. And when we tighten the rubber band, then we add this as an engine. And when we use the engine and we keep twisting and turning this faucet engine, then it should make us take off. And right now it's stuck to the plate, so it wouldn't really take off of the plate. So this is what happened when we twist the engine.
Hi, my name is Ariana Clark, and I am at the MSSRA Academy, Summer Research Academy. And this is Emisha, and this is my partner. And today I am presenting the rubber band powered car. So we made these rubber band powered cars to showcase energy and how it works. And we're basically motioning on how potential and kinetic energy works. So for the car, when you wind the propeller up and you hold it, that's potential energy. And then when you let it go so that it can move, that's called kinetic energy. And then moving on to the catapult, we made these catapults with 9 popsicle sticks as the base, and then 2 more popsicle sticks as underneath it and on top of it, so that it can balance out, so that when you press down on it, it can go forward.
Good morning, my name is Amisha Java, and today I'm going to be presenting the cup and string telephone. The cup and string telephone is made with 2 cups and any kind of string. Cotton string is the best string to use for this project. So what you want to do is you want to take your string, poke a hole in the bottom of the cup, and tie a knot in the bottom of the cup. You want to tie a knot in the bottom so it doesn't come out of the cup when you use it. So how this project works is you want to have two people for this project. So one person is going to be on the other end, one is going to hold the cup, and the other person is going to, one person is going to listen and one person is going to talk in the cup. So how it works is the sound waves move through the string to hear the other person. If you pinch the string, the sound waves would stop, so you wouldn't be able to hold the person. They wouldn't be able to hear the other person. You want to have your string, your cup tight, because if it's slack like this, it won't work.
Good morning, my name is Tomas Encarnacion, and I'll be talking about career and taxes. All right, so we did our career pre-assessment, and we determined B is the best option because it has business, keeping track of money, and being the boss, organizing events, selling products, and working with others. And then here are the taxes. Our annual income is $68,000. Our monthly income is $5,666.66. All right. Then we have 7 taxes: Social Security, Medicare tax, federal income, GERS, family, medical and dental, vision, family, and insurance. Social Security is 6.2%. Medicare tax is 1.45%. Federal income tax is 15.55%. GERS is 11.5%. Family, medical, and dental is 9.08%. Vision family is 0.2%. And insurance is 1.02%. And here is our calculations. And this is we add all of this up. That's the deduction. And then we subtract that by our monthly income. And then $3,116.70 is our total net after the deductions. This is what I learned at summer camp. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Denise Yakub, and I learned about financial literacy and savings in the STEM mathematics and science program. I'll be talking about the savings part in the financial literacy. So I'm basically just talking about like how you could save and pay yourself first, and like saving. Like some people save for like a goal, like you want to buy something and you don't have the money to pay for it right now, so you could save towards that goal. It could be your college tuition or to pay for your car when you get older, or you could save just to save. Like you could put money aside just in case like you have something spontaneous come up and you can't pay for it out of nowhere. You could go to your savings and have that money that's there because you saved it up. Not all the time do you have to save, because it could be hard sometimes because you always have to pay your bills, your taxes, your credit, if you use your credit, you have to pay back your debts. So saving, you just pay yourself first when you can. So I was just talking, I had some tips on how you could pay yourself first and like how you could save. Like you could cut back on going out, or like just spending extra money you don't really need to spend. You could cook at home. You don't have to go out all the time every weekend or go to all the parties. Always spend money. You could save the money that you was using that you don't have to use. I don't need a new outfit. I don't need a new shoe like all the time. So I don't need to go every weekend. Just go, like if it's like an occasion, you could go out. You celebrate once in a while, but not all the time, because that's just money going down when you already went out. So that's why I was just talking about the savings part and how you could save.
My name is Jaquan Campbell, and I will be talking about credit management. So credit is a basic financial tool that you should know how to use for your benefits. It is not a quick fix for every financial circumstance, but can be useful and even very valuable in certain situations. What is the big deal about credit? Credit is a privilege and benefit in today's world. Credit is a convenient purchase to whatever you need or want right on the spot. An emergency, Situation credit is a resource that can be trapped. Establishing. How to turn the key to establish credit or repair your credit if no outstanding issue. 1. Open a checking account. 2. Apply for a credit card. Will require secured credit card and retail store. 3. Obtain a personal loan. And that's what all about credit is about.
Good morning, my name is Rose Plant. This is Ashim Knight, Maurice Doyle, Omaya Knight, now Onyx Penny Feather. And today we'll be talking about enhancing elderly assistance through a VEX robot. As you know, it's not only elderly people, but as well as other ages, but mainly for elderly people, because as you know, they have all types of conditions, such as arthritis, dexterity, and any other kinds, all other kinds. And this is basically a VEX robot to help, and this is trials with and without the garbage that we pick up. The average weight that you're looking at here is like, for this type of model, is like a half a bottle of water. So that's the type of model. The results indicated is strange change. So what we know that is group 1, which is this VEX robot, moves faster than group 2. And it may be the cause that we built the frame kind of wavery on the first try, because we kind of rushed this one. So yeah. The results, surprisingly, when you pick up the garbage, right, it moves faster. It moves faster than our average time. So this is the average data you're looking at. Turn it around. This is the average data you're looking at over here for each one. So these are the pieces, the materials that we're using. A C-channel, the smart cables, which connect the motors to power it, to the battery. These are the shafts that hold it together, hold the cloth together, which go right here. This is the cloth maintenance to make it move up and down, in and out, right there. These 2 gears is what makes the cloth go up and down. This is the most important piece, the high strength shaft. It's this little gold piece here that goes right here. Right here in the middle, so they have a grip. Yes, we built it from scratch. So the average to take is like a week to build this. It's like an average a week. So we built this within 2 days. It had a lot of ups and downs, but we got through it the second day. So it's moving well and fine. Has different objects. This is the manual, 41 steps in each one. So each one. Just showing you a little instructions of how we look and how we built it.
I was happy for this experience because it taught me a lot about building and how sometimes you gotta take your time and you don't have to rush every time you do something. When I was building this, I kind of rushed it, so I had to go back a couple times to redo it. But in the end, it got to the final result. And I think that you should take your time and do it good the first time so you don't have to go back and do it again.
So good morning, my name is Mark Bow Jr. Today we will be showing our underwater submersible vehicle, otherwise known as the Sea Porch. With this, our main objective was to show enhancing marine travel. This is our seaport model right here. This is our motors and stuff. And this is our motherboard for the controls. And this is our gimmicks to test to see what a seaport could do. Our main objective was to see if the seaport could go underneath the water, pick up stuff, and stuff meaning like we would have used these rings to pick up whatever, and bring it back up, and well, so with this we'll show off the motors. This is one of the main stuff we did. Get the motors running. It took us about a week to do everything here, soldering the motherboard to get it running, wiring the engines to be connected to the motherboard, etc. And this is really all we have to do for building our sea perch. And it's our project.
Good morning and welcome to the MSSR culminating activity. I am Victor Sum III, Assistant Commissioner, and I want to share my congratulations and gratitude for the students that participated in this awesome activity. This is really what it's about, learning and putting learning into practice. And clearly we see here today, students have gone out, they've done research, they've come up with theory, and they're now putting into play and displaying what they've learned. This is an awesome opportunity for our students, and I wish that this could be year-long and not just a summer activity. I wish them well. I look forward to visiting more sites that do this type of STEM activity. Thank you so much, and congratulations to our students and our MSSR program.
Good morning. My name is Mikaela Bruce. This is Brianna Ajun. This is Leilani Charles, and today we are going to be explaining our research on the feline cats. Our idea is keeping it clean. The problem: what will be the outcome for the cats at the Altona Lagoon if the cats and their environment are better maintained? The purpose of this research is hopefully to create a better environment for the felines to live in a comfortable lifestyle at the Altona Lagoon. Claim: if the felines at the Real Crucian Cat Sanctuary are better maintained, then the environment will be more sanitary because it can be a place where the felines can live in comfort. The materials we used was a garden guide soil testing kit. The procedures for the phosphate experiment was to fill the phosphate liquid to 4 mLs, put 5 scoops of soil, cap and gently mix for 1 minute. Remove the cap. Use a pipette to transfer the liquid, 6 drops of phosphate indicator, mix a phosphate testing tablet, and match to the color chart. The data we got from the phosphate experiment near the sanctuary was high with a dark blue tint. This means that the soil will reduce the plant's ability to take up required micronutrients. The phosphate in the soil far away from the sanctuary was a very light blue tint. This is near the sanctuary and far away from the sanctuary. The materials for the potassium experiment was the same as the phosphate experiment. The procedure for the potassium experiment is the same as the phosphate experiment. The data we found for the potassium experiment is the potassium is essential to obtain plant growth, and we found a lot of that near the cat sanctuary. This is near the cat sanctuary and far away from the cat sanctuary. The materials for the pH experiment is basically the same as the other experiments we did. The procedure for the pH experiment is the same. The data we found for the pH experiment is that the soil by the cat sanctuary was less acidic, and the soil near it was alkaline. The materials from the nitrate experiment, we used the same materials. The procedure was the same as all experiments. The data we found for the nitrate is that it is important for the growth of plants. The nitrates by the cat sanctuary had a lot because of the fertilization of the poop. The observation, during our visit to Altona Lagoon, we found that there was 10 different cat species. The shelter had wooden structures for shelter for the cats, and there was trees surrounding it. This ensures that it is a calm and friendly environment for the cats. The location has an unpleasant smell, and the felines lack a cleaning plan. So they used the Altona Lagoon as a litter box. The local comments. There was many local comments we had, but this is the main 4. Chrissy, a homeschooler group member, believes that it's terrible to dump the cats. A Altona Lagoon summer camp advisor says that the cats needs to be put to sleep instead of being kept there. Nikki, a homeschool group member, visits 4 times a year and thinks that the cats are friendly to her kids. A local fisherman has witnessed that the cats are being fed well. Journal entry. My journal entry was, as a person who frequently visits the beach, I don't think that the cats being there is a good idea because it affects with the allergies. In conclusion, the Rio Crucian Cat Sanctuary at the Altona Lagoon is currently being fed, but not maintained in an eco-friendly manner, which means the environment is being hurt. Their waste is fertilizing the surrounding areas, but the sanctuary needs to be improved. If moved to 5 acres nearby the kidney center, it would help with the smell and it will look more organized. Thank you for watching, and this is our idea of a goat sanctuary. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Jason Edwards, and this is my group's research topic of cat diseases, mainly focusing on the physical traits and aspects of the cats at Altona Lagoon. Basically, while we were at this program, we asked ourselves, how do treated cats differ from untreated cats? Because when we were observing what we observed at the lagoon, we saw that different cats had clipped ears and different cats had unclipped ears. And that indicates that they were treated and not treated, looked at, and so on and so forth. So basically, the purpose of this research is to find physical differences between clipped ear cats and unclipped ear cats, as I said before. And the materials that we used were internet research and a camera, so we could clearly identify the differences in the different cats that was at the lagoon. The procedures that we took was collecting data for unclipped ear cats and clipped ear cats, identifying the differences in physical appearances and other traits they share, and researching for more information regarding cat diseases in general. We observed at the cat sanctuary that the main cat sanctuary has more cats than the other 2. There are fewer cats than last year, because last year they had over 100 cats that we observed, but this year there's only around 30. And there are more clipped ear cats than unclipped ear cats that stays by the sanctuary, just because the clipped ear cats know that people are coming and going and feeding them regularly, and the unclipped ear cats mainly are throughout the bushes like living there like it's their own sanctuary, because they don't know people are coming and going to feeding them, so on and so forth. So we conducted data, and this is the official data of what we've observed. 14.8% of cats were untreated that we saw unclipped, and 85.2% of the cats were clipped treated. But those cats we saw more at the main sanctuary than at the others. In conclusion, after traveling and researching at the Real Cruising Cat Sanctuary at Altona Lagoon, we've observed 27 cats in all, 23 of which that had clipped ears that were treated, 4 of which that did not have clipped ears. And based on our observation, we propose that a lot of the cats, a lot of strays, stay mainly in the bushes, and the treated cats stay at the sanctuary. So this is our presentation on the physical differences and appearances of the cats at Altona Lagoon.
Good morning, my name is Nyla Addison, and my research topic for this STEM program this year was how cats impact humans at the Altona Lagoon. Our purpose for this experiment is to test the water at the Altona Lagoon to see if it affects humans in any way. Our claim is that if cats are not properly maintained at the Altona Lagoon, they can affect humans at the Altona Lagoon because their feces and urea can infect the waters. So to do this experiment, we experimented on turbidity, alkalinity, salinity, and pH in the waters. We tested 2 bodies of waters at the lagoon. We did waters near the sanctuary and away from the sanctuary. We found that waters near the sanctuary had a lot more infections in them. It was more dirtier, and the levels were different. The waters away from the sanctuary was clearer and it looked cleaner. So this is the turbidity kit that we tested on. To conclude, we found that different bodies of water had different levels of pH, salinity, alkalinity, and turbidity in them. And to solve this problem at the lagoon, we think that cats should have an area that they can play in safely and be away from humans, and still be cared for. So we also created a playhouse for the cats. This is our ideal sanctuary for the cats. The idea for this was so that cats can be neutered and treated for carefully in a healthy, safe environment. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Malaya Francis. I am here at Complex. I go to Bonita Garden. Today I will be presenting my field guide, notes and communication. So what we do in STEM is we practice writing very specific and taking a lot of notes so we could do our work and we could understand what we're doing. The communication in STEM writing is very difficult if you don't listen and observe. For example, I went down to the banana grove and I picked a guava leaf and a banana leaf. And this is the rubbing of a mature guava. And it is 5 inches long and 2 inches wide. And it was found out complex by the banana grove. This is a banana leaf, alive and dead. The original name is called Psidium gojava, and this is a banana leaf. That's the mature rubbing. And it was also found outside a complex by the banana grove. And this is the astronomy with Julio Encarnacion. We was learning about space, and he was showing us different gadgets that he used to capture pictures of space. And we had went into the Astrodome, and it was like a galaxy. And then we was writing our questions to ask him. And my question was if there could possibly be any other planets in space. And he said it, yes. So yeah, over there, you'll find more information about about the project. You can find more information about it over there with Mr. Olasi Davis, Concordia Village, the mahogany tree, and the Kenneth tree.
Hello,
Hello, good day. My name is Tatiana Hewitt. I am the lead teacher for the Water Warriors. Today you're going to hear from my students on what they've been working on this summer. You will see all of the water things that they completed, the places that they have visited, and the fun that they had this summer. So now I will pass it on to one of my students.
Good day. My name is Amaya Henderson, and today I will be presenting the Water Warriors pH level of system water in the USVI. Our focus this year was water quality and pollution because we are very determined to learn about the effects of water quality. This year, we tested the pH levels of residents in the St. Croix area so that we could determine what would the pH levels be. We thought that the levels would be between a 7 and an 8 because whenever rainwater falls, the pH is between a 5.0 and a 5.5. And whenever it reaches in the cistern water, it becomes slightly alkaline due to the mineralization in the cement.
So how we tested the water, we had the pH litmus testing strips, and then we filled a plastic tube with 15 milliliters of water, and then we compared it to the color chart. And then we repeated this 3 times for accurate results. So we tested a total of 18 classmates, 2 which had WAPA water and the rest had cistern. 44.44% tested with a pH of 8, and then 27.78 tested for a pH of 6 and 7.
Like stated before, our pH is supposed to be between a 7 and an 8. However, our results showed a 6 or 8 instead. But that 6 indicates it's slightly more acidic than it should be. If you look at the chart here, 6 of our classmates had a pH of 6, and those 5 of the 6 was in Christiansted rather than Frederiksted. Our Frederiksted had a pH of 7 and an 8, which is really good. This is what we were focusing on this summer. However, we're going to repeat this project again next year, and we're going to change things to help tamper with the results. Some things we're going to change is what disinfectant we use and how much disinfectants we use, and we're also going to consider putting a filter on our water to change the results.
So this is our Water Warriors Summer at a Glance. We're going to start off with the survey questions that we actually accumulated at the beginning of the program.
So our survey was for people all over the island, from Christiansted to Frederiksted, to see what they thought about their water. So some of our questions were, do you know about WAPA and the company 7Cs, where WAPA gets their water from? We also had questions pertaining to whether people trust WAPA or their cistern water for them to drink. And so most people on the island use cisterns, and the second highest was WAPA. And so many people, while they do trust their cisterns to bathe, clean their dishes, things like that, they would not drink their water. More people would drink WAPA's water, but some people do still not trust WAPA to provide them clean water.
Okay, so as you can see here, we did various activities over the program. So right here, as you can see, we actually went on a safari tour with Mr. Prince. He took us around the island. He even stopped to get us ice cream. As you can see here, Dr. Cole visited us. He actually taught us about invasive species on island, and he bought 3 boa constrictors for us to see and touch. He also taught us archery. We, as she said before, 7Cs. We visited 7Cs. 7Cs is connected to WAPA. They deal with the desalination of the water and distribute it to WAPA, and WAPA does their own disinfections and everything else. We went to Blue Mountain Water, which is a water company many people on St. Croix know. All here, as you can see, these little photos of us riding and doing work. This is us conducting all of our research for the program, and all of our research, as you can see, was presented in that table over there. We were also visited by Mr. Nielsen, who gifted us VR headsets. So we watched various videos on water and other activities that based on this topic. And we do a lot of work every day, so we did have a lot of cool downs. So many of our mini games were introduced. We did the Oreo challenge, which is where you put an Oreo on top of your head without using your hands. You try to get the Oreo into your mouth. We also did a taste test. So basically it was a blind taste testing, and we were given random juices to test and guess what they were. And we also indulged in a gummy bear contest, which we threw the gummy bear up in the air and tried to catch it in our mouths. So as you can see here also, we did create our own water filters right here. And that really concludes our board.
Hi, My name is Omega, and welcome to our water filtration center, where we have 5 different water filters. As you can see, we're pouring in water into the filters, and I'm gonna hand it over to Vivian.
Hello, my name is Vivian, and right now, as you can see, as the water is seeping through the water filters, some might come out discolored still, some might come out a little clearer than others, but in all, these waters are not as safe to drink as you would like, but it is cleaner than it was before. And right here on our display stand right here, we have papers that say caution because of the different bacteria and chemicals that can get into your water system and contaminate your water. As of right here, we have something called E. coli, which is animal feces that can get into your water system through rainfall. As you can see over there, which we discussed before, the different positive and negative E. coli tests. When rainfall happens, sometimes the bird poop on top of your roof can get through the water and enter your cistern. Right here, we have copper, lead, and bromine, which are colorless things and can be seen with the naked eye, but they can be found with either discoloration of water or it can be found with the smell of the water. Right now, in Frederiksted, or in Christiansted as well, WAPA right now, they're changing their lead pipes that they had from a long time ago because of the discoloration it was causing when homeowners were receiving it. And right now they're changing it to the PVC pipes, which are more useful and won't rust easily as before. And then right here, we have our paper filtrations, which we did beforehand, which are also on that table as well. And we did those to know what materials maybe we wanted to use even before deciding to use these. And that is all for our section with water filtration, and I hope you have a great day with our next section.
This is also directions we had. So we had a little paper from the Water Heroes from Mr. Nielsen, where we had to follow certain instructions to make our water filters. We used 3 components to make it, and we made our dirty water and we made our filters. So this is it right here.
So in your research, what did they say you could put in the water to kill these bacteria?
Well, you can use disinfectants like Clorox or chlorine, basically the same thing. Thank you.
You can also, when making water filters, you can also heat up your water, which also helps with taking out the bacteria when doing it. That's an easy way to do it at home. Lots of homeowners here do it when power goes out. That happens very frequently, but it is still a good way to get your water going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Azara, and I'm here with Jarinai, and we're here to show you all our thank yous to all the people that came to speak to us, and we went to show us all the different water aspects of St. Croix and learned different things. So we had Dr. Cole come to speak to us about snakes and archery. We learned that the most common snake here on the Virgin Islands is the red-tailed boa, which it's decreasing in its population due to the fact that females are trying to breed and they're easier to catch. Here we have Prince Safari Tours, where we went on a safari tour of the Virgin Islands from the east end to the west end and learned its different histories and its background. Here we have Mr. Pemberton, who taught us at 7 Seas that they're the main water source for WAPA. So WAPA does not produce its own water, but it gets it from 7 Seas, where 7 Seas gets their water from the ocean and they purify it themselves. Here we have Mr. Nielsen, where he came to us and showed us virtual realities. He gave us all these fine aspects and taught us different things that he wants to bring to this new, what he calls the youths. Here we have Mr. Hewitt. He came to speak to us about Juneteenth, and we also learned that Juneteenth is 175 years now, this year, made it, so which is one of the oldest holidays here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We have Mr. Schuster, who owns Blue Mountain Water, where he showed us all his different filtration devices and how they work and what chemicals he used and produced inside of his water to purify it and make it a 7 on the pH scale, which he tests his water every single day, at least probably like twice a day, to make sure his water is perfect on the pH scale.
My name is Jarana Eugene. We're handing out treats that don't tarnish our water supply. A fact is that you clean your cistern every 3 to 5 years to make sure that you're up to par with your cleaning, your disinfectants, and so forth.
Once again, thank you so much for visiting us here at the MSSRA program. We are the Water Warriors, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Thank you.
Don't tarnish our water supply.
Hi, my name is Jamisha Jafwa, and I'm here with
Deleja Charles,
Jishan Campbell.
and this is our presentation, Feline Footprints.
So our problem at the Altona Lagoon. How do cats at the Altona Lagoon impact the environment and ecosystem?
So why are we conducting this research? The reasoning behind this research is so that we can bring awareness that cat overpopulation and abundance can affect the ecosystem and environment at the Altona Lagoon.
If the cat population at the Altona Lagoon continues to increase, then native species such as the ground lizards and birds, their population will decrease because the cats lower their lifespan by hunting them.
So the material we use is garden guards, soil testing kits, gloves, sand and soil.
So for this research, we use two different types of soil: dirty soil, which is the soil away from near the cats, and then clean soil, which is the soil away from the cats. We conducted some procedures. We tested the pH of the soil, the nitrogen and the potassium, and the phosphorus. As you can see here, these are the results of our test. We found that there was a low potassium and a high pH, phosphorus, and nitrogen.
So that were just some visual results, and here are some observations that we made. So some observations that we made was that there was a cat that had a wound on it. This could have been from playing, fighting, who knows whether, it had an open wound, could have been from fighting, who knows. But there's another reason why this is to stay away from cats. For instance, a wound like that could be infected and carry a disease, which is why you don't want to just touch any cat. Another thing was that cats with the clipped ears, so clipped meaning they're immunized, they have their shots and stuff. We noticed that those cats were more friendly towards humans. They were coming up to us and petting us and wanted to be petted. Also, the cat sanctuary had a stench to it. Could be because the cats are not showered, they don't get bathed, so they might stink. And we noticed that the cats were very comfortable in their environment and were unbothered by our presence, and they didn't really mind us there.
So this is the conclusion. All in all, it is evident that cats have various ways that they impact the community and the environment. While they bring joy and companionship to many households, their presence as domesticated predators can disrupt the delicate balance of local wildlife. The hunting instincts of cats, particularly strays who are allowed to roam freely, can lead to the predation of birds and our local ground lizards. These strays also tend to leave behind feces or poop wherever they linger. According to DPNR member Sean Kelly, sand is a cat's litter box, and he was right, because at the Altona Lagoon where we conducted our test, we found out there was a high pH, nitrogen, and phosphorus levels in the soil near the sanctuary compared to the soil near the area with little to no cats. This is all caused by the extra compost that cats leave behind. And there was also a low potassium rate, which does not significantly mean that it wasn't caused by the cats, because it was. Because high pH is what causes potassium deficiency, and animal compost is what causes high pH. All in all, if we did this experiment again, we would definitely need population charts showing the population throughout the time of cats and endangered species. So this is us getting involved in the community. We had a child participate in our experiment. Being that this research is for the bettering of our community, it is significant that we get attributions from locals and tourists so that we get inside their minds of elders, young adults, and even little kids. This is so that we have a better understanding of what others would like to see from organizations such as groups such as Calico Cats. So there's some local opinions that we have.
So most people thought that the cats are a nice addition to the beach. One local said that they add a nice and calm personality to the beach. Another person said that her kids like to play with them, so she doesn't mind them. We had a DPNR official, a guest speaker. He said that cats should be treated the same as mongoose and rodents and be put into traps. His reasoning was because native species such as the ground lizard, the lagoon would be a perfect place to reintroduce them, but because the cats are there, they would just kill them off, so it would make no sense.
These are some of our personal opinions of how we felt going into this program. I said that it was thrilling to know whether or not the sand we walk on or the water we swim in might be contaminated by cats.
I basically said that being in this program, I've noticed a lot of new things of cats. I never really cared about cats, and I was interested, and it might be a lot the same for a lot of people. But in this program, I learned a lot of interesting things, like the clipped ears. I didn't know that. Just a lot of random facts and cool things about cats.
After visiting the cat sanctuary, make me want to go to the Alto Lagoon even more.
Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed our presentation.
I'm Professor Michael Henry from UVI. My area is physics, and I like to see when they have things like this, introducing children to the sciences and technology, to see who's interested and who might find a career in this. You never know, it's the exposure that gives us this. And then even if they don't go into it, at least they have some understanding of how science occurs, how research occurs, so that when they see things in the news, they would have a better understanding of what actually took place. So the projects were really nice. They were really good, involved, and they ran a wide gamut of different things within science and technology. So there was a nice variation of projects. So this year, as usual, it was a very good year.
Good morning. My name is Danielle Jenkins, and we will discuss the value of budgeting to make sure you manage your finances so you can determine whether something is sensible or smart. Is it specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely? Another way you can decrease your spending is to eat at home, find fun activities that are free, make a grocery list, and make fun comparisons, get the records of large purchases. And to make sure you spend your money and not go into debt, you can use the 50-30-20 budget, which is 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% goes to saving and debt payment.
This is a math trick that you can do to multiply 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 using your fingers. First, you have to label your fingers at numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. An example, 7 times 8. First, you have to put your fingers like this, because this is 7 and this is 8. And you have to multiply the fingers above. 2 times 3 equals 6. And then you have to count the fingers below by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 50 plus 6 equals 56. So 7 times 8 equals 56.
I will be talking about tips to prepare a spending time. 1. Keep track of your daily spending. 2. Determine what your monthly income and expenses are from the month. 3. Find ways to decrease spending. 4. Find ways to increase income. Now I'm talking about by planning and understanding your current income and expenses, you can understand how to do with your income, realizing personal goals, getting more money, reducing financial stress, achieve financial competence and confidence. Expenses, items you spend money on, such as bills, food, transportation expenses, tuition, and entertainment. Income, money that comes to you from jobs, allowances, interest, Social Security, and other sources.
Good morning. My name is Amira Lang, and I've learned about financial literacy budgeting. Budgeting is what you spend and how you want to spend your money. SMART, that's SMART. S is for specific, M is for measurable,
A is for action-oriented, and R is for realistic, and T is for timing. The conclusion I came to this summer program was how to spend my money, earn my money, and save it.
All right, I'm back now to close out our great program we had today. We had some 60 plus kids here showing you what STEM is all about. I encourage you parents, community members, senators, everybody to really support this program once again and continue to support STEM throughout our district and the other district as well. Here we are looking at future engineers, mathematicians, scientists, and we want to encourage them to go into the fields that really matters now. In that age of artificial intelligence, we need them to get more acclimated to it so that they could be part of those people that are out there competing for these great jobs out there. Thank you for coming and welcome our kids in this community and encourage them to continue to do well in their education and look at STEM as one part of a big avenue in getting a good paying job. Thank you for being here.